In life, we all strive to find something worth fighting for. For a chosen few, that purpose is found in country, a pride in pursuit of something far greater than self, sacrifice, discipline, the erosion of wants and material needs. We celebrate those brave enough as the stars of the only show in town, Army versus Navy, deserving of its own day. For these men, 365 days worth of preparation for this 60 minutes of football. This is not a game. This is a purpose. At West Point, the phrase "beat Navy" isn't just a rally cry. It's a greeting by which you address your superiors. In Annapolis, "Beat Army" printed on every weight and every pad, etched into the stones beneath your feet. A constant reminder of the task at hand. Make no mistake about it. There is a respect between these two rooted in reason. But today's mission is to dismantle the other. A time-honored tradition in sport that's provided indelible moments. In 26, a battle of unbeatens separated by nothing. In 45, Army's national title. In 63, the emotions just days removed from a national tragedy. Then in 83, they went west. And from 02 to 15, 14 years of unbroken Navy dominance.
We heard for a long time about the streak. It feels good to be a part of the team that put that to an end.
Soon, the next chapter in a rivalry that highlights the best of us. This game, a time capsule of the sport's truest form. Today, bitter rivals with the sole mission of bettering the other. Tomorrow, teammates on a battlefield far more important. From this field to every corner of the earth, it's Army versus Navy on CBS.
And welcome back to the Cover 3 Takeover here on CBS Sports HQ. That's Barrett, Sallee. I'm Chip Patterson. Lots to get to over the course of the next hour. We will be picking 18 bowl games to get you ready for the upcoming postseason festivities. But Barrett, before we get there, we have to focus on the most important college football event of the weekend. It is America's game. It is Army and Navy, a game that you can watch on CBS. You can stream it on Paramount Plus. 3 p.m. Eastern Time is the kick. And before we get to actually making our picks for this game, I've got a different kind of take your pick I want to look at, because every year Army and Navy give us some absolutely fantastic uniforms for this event. So we've got the Army more old school look. We've got Navy going with a little space influence. Take your pick, Barrett. Army or Navy, just based on the uniforms. Who you got?
Oh, man, those Navy uniforms are priceless. Now, full disclosure, I'm a little bit of a space nut anyway, and my son just got back from space camp in Huntsville, Alabama, so I've been sort of inundated with all of this stuff, but the space sort of, the way they've integrated all of this into the uniform is just perfect. From the NASA logo on the helmet to the fact that they look like spacesuits themselves. It looks tremendous. I think when you look at that NASA on the side, the old school NASA logo, you got the moon right there. I mean, it's a really, really good look. And I think also, we have the Space Force now. I think a lot of folks don't necessarily realize that NASA itself is sort of part of the Navy umbrella, so to speak. So I like them both. I think they never go wrong with these uniforms, but the Navy ones this year, man, those are money.
Tom Fornelli joining the conversation as well. We've got alternates on both sides, Tom. Which side do you favor heading into Army-Navy?
One of the best uniform matchups in the last few years since they started doing these alternates for the game every year. And while I like the Army uniform and I'm from an Army family, I'm with Barrett. The Space Navy uniforms are awesome. They are far and away the best of these two uniforms. The astronaut on the helmet, the NASA logo, everything about them is cool. I think it's fantastic. And I can't wait to see what they look like on the field. But I do think both teams are in good uniforms. But if it impacts the outcome of the game, I do think this gives Navy a pretty big advantage.
I don't think it's going to impact the outcome of the game. I am also on Navy here for the uniforms, but let me add one wrinkle to it. It's red, white, and blue. I mean, this is America's game, and one of these alternate uniforms looks, like brown and gold and desert on the land. I understand, but 54 different graduates from the Naval Academy have gone on to become astronauts for NASA. So let's celebrate them, and let's do it wearing the red, white, and blue. So I am also thinking that Navy is going to be the advantage. But does it give them an advantage? So as we break this thing down, we've got Navy as a 2.5-point favorite. We've got an over-under of 32.5. Tom, when it comes to your best bet or your predictions for this game, what do you have for Army-Navy?
Oh, come on, Chip. You know exactly what I have for Army-Navy. Now, as far as the outcome of the game, I do think this is somewhat of a coin flip. Navy has been playing better to end the season than it was at the start of the season. Army's coming into this game on a win streak. So if I want to bet the spread, I would rather take the team getting the points, but I'm not betting the spread. I am betting the total because as I have come on HQ many times these last few years and brought up, in games between service academies since the 2005 season, the under is 43-9-1, and it is not a difficult process to figure out why. Both of the teams run option offenses, which run the ball nearly 90% of the time, which means the clock never stops. Therefore, it limits possessions. There aren't a lot of big plays, so both teams have to put together 8, 9, 10 play drives to drive down the field and score, which leads to a ton of time coming off the clock for every single scoring drive. And on the flip side, the reason these teams run option offenses is because it gives them something of an advantage against other teams who aren't used to facing them. But Army, Navy, and Air Force spend all day, every day, preparing for option offenses on the defensive side of the football. So no teams are better equipped to slow an option offense down, which is why when games like this happen between service academies, you don't get high scores. It's why the under is 43-9-1 in 2005, and it's why the under has cashed in 16 straight, and it's going to cash in 17 on Saturday.
Well, I wish I could add some really in-depth analysis, but everything Tom said was right. 20 of the last 22 times this specific game has gone under, and I think playing the triple option every single day in practice is huge. And we see 17-10 games, we see 14-6 games. That's just the way this game goes. So definitely Service Academy under. They cannot make the over-under in this game low enough. They've tried every single year. It feels like they've been trying to go as low as they possibly can, and they just can't do it. And I think for Navy, I would actually lay the points with Navy. The line's actually gone up from 1 to 2.5. So somebody knows something, but I think they're more balanced. They run the triple option a little bit better and more dynamic, more explosive. Army, generally speaking, Tyler gets hit behind the line of scrimmage quite a bit. Now, that's going to happen in triple option offenses, but it happens more in Army's case than in Air Force or Navy's case. But Service Academy unders, you just have to go with it. Tom turned me on to this a long, long time ago, and they seem to cash every single time.
UNITY, UNITY, drop that confetti, because we are men of principle and we are men of patriotism. And what we do when service academies play each other is we take the under. What is the number, odds makers? 27.5. Until you hit 27.5, I'm still going under. This thing used to be around like 43, 42. And now we're sitting here at 32.5. And I will tell you, it will put hair on your chest when there's a scoop and score in the first quarter, and all of a sudden you're starting to sweat this thing out. But we will see by the end of this game, the discipline for both of these teams, and I do mean that seriously, like the discipline they have everywhere, leads to another under. You can watch Army and Navy. It is America's game on CBS, kickoff at 3 p.m. Eastern time from Philadelphia. You can stream it on Paramount+.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.